anyone has a buzzword they never want to hear again, right? For me, that buzzword is productivity. I just find it to be a lazy, catch-all phrase that frankly is out of touch with modern work culture. Do we all want to be productive? Yeah, of course. Are we all productive? For sure. Let me tell you about my average day. 6 a.m. up, run, home, shower, dress, breakfast, school lunch, school bag, school run, navigate traffic to work, spend a day in work, navigate traffic home, dinner, homework, teacher's notes, quality family time, log back in to deal with the West Coast, bed, sleep, rise, do it all over again. Does that resonate even somewhat with this audience? Yeah, I thought so. In a world that has us racing around from morning till night, we are working every minute and we are trying to squeeze the most out of every single day. We simply cannot be more productive. We need to shift the conversation from busyness and productivity to reimagining the human experience at work. Now, I realize that how we use technology can actually add to all of this busyness. Instead of making our lives easier, it can add layers of complexity and distraction and cognitive overload. Social media distraction? Yep. The deluge of daily email? For sure, we know that. And ironically, all of those apps that are meant to help us manage our time, oh yeah. In Japan, in Japanese, there is a word karoshi, which means death by overwork. And it is estimated that 1/5 of employees are at risk. In France, the French government are tackling employee overwork by looking at legislation around the right to disconnect. Simply put, the way we are working is not working. We are busy being busy about things that grind us down, that eat at our well-being, that blur our clarity, and kill opportunities to be creative. In fact, a McKinsey Global Institute study found that 61% of our time is spent managing work. And we're only actually spending 39% of our time doing it. Now that's a lot of time being busy, and it's a lot of time not being creative. Now I suspect that there are many of you here today who would not naturally identify as creatives or creative types. But let me put it to you that the ability to think creatively and bring creative thought to business problems is uniquely human. And I'm guessing that everybody in this room has business problems to solve. Today, this week, this month, perhaps even this minute. Creativity can benefit every aspect of an organization, and yet it is undermined unintentionally every day by work environments that were built and established to maximize productivity and busyness. We need to declutter. We need to focus on how the workplace of 2020 can shift from productivity and busyness to thinking about how people can be creative in work. And how do we do that? Well, there are many ways that we can bring creativity into the workplace. Let's start with technology. And we heard from Omer briefly, a short while ago. There's much been written about how technology will replace people. And while that might be true in part, Omer also referred to this, deploying the right solution, not just technology, can be a huge enabler. It can get rid of mundane and work and busy tasks and free up time to spend thinking creatively about the real problems that you have to solve. Things like big data, AI, machine learning, these can absolutely enhance the workplace. Now, with over 500 million users in Dropbox, we know a thing or two about big data. And me and my team certainly know an awful lot about the challenges of supporting and delighting over 500 million users, let me tell you. So we're exploring and experimenting with technologies such as natural language processing, chatbots that Omer talked about, and machine learning technologies in order to enhance and improve our customer interactions. And crucially, we're doing this so that we can free up time for my team to think creatively about the big customer problems that we have to solve. Now, it's not just about technology. We've heard a lot over the past few days about the diversity of teams, and rightly so. I'm a huge believer. And while I think we can acknowledge there is still a long way to go, I'm very, very gladdened to see that organizations are finally opening their eyes, not just to the fact that diversity is good for the bottom line, but that diversity of backgrounds brings diversity of thought and diversity of perspectives. And innovative ideas come from dissimilar teams. My team is a global team, and we're made up of different genders, for sure, different cultures, different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different education, and all of this brings a hugely different set of perspectives to the table, as well as some raging debates, let me tell you. But all of this actually contributes to a really creative environment. So we have the technology and we have the diverse team, but you have to make time for creativity and you have to prioritize it. And I would say the very fact that all of you are sitting in the audience today, you've prioritized time for creativity. You've taken a step away from the desk, the day job, and come here to hear different things, to hear different perspectives. And in Dropbox, we dedicate 1 week a year to thinking creatively. It's called Hack Week. And Hack Week is a common concept among engineering organizations and engineering teams. But in Dropbox, it's not just our engineers, it's actually everybody in the company. So for 5 days, it's actually happening in a few weeks from now, we will throw our fear of failure out the window. We embrace a very healthy disregard for the impossible, and we work on whatever inspires us. And we're allowed and we're given permission to step away from the daily grind and work cross-functionally, work cross-geographies, and be creative. And in fact, many of our new features, our key features, and our everyday tools all had humble beginnings back as Hack Week projects. So where are we creative? Well, there have been many studies that correlate how people feel about their work environment and their creativity and their happiness. And it'll come as, I'm sure, no surprise to anybody here to know that highly engaged workers are not chained to their desk. And they usually have the option to choose where to do their work depending on the task. And so much investment has been made in office space. The architecture, the design, the open plan, the collaborative and creative spaces, and the quiet corners, and so on. And at Dropbox, we are so spoiled with the most beautiful office spaces. This is a picture of our music room, called Drop Kill for the Irish amongst you. And on any given day, you can open the door to Drop Kill, and you're likely to see 1, maybe 2, maybe more people in there just jamming, doing their thing, taking time away from their daily work and unleashing creative energy. Some will say they get great ideas when they're in there. It's amazing. But there's been a seismic shift in jobs over the past decade with the gig economy, with open source jobs, remote working, people in different geographies and different time zones. Less and less people, less and less of the workforce even, are tied to an office. And this is a trend that is going to continue way beyond 2020. So here's my problem. While I get to enjoy working in the beautiful spaces in Dropbox Dublin, most of my team are scattered, and my colleagues are scattered across the globe. And so even if I had a musical note in my body, and I assure you I don't, I couldn't jam in that room with my team, even if I wanted to. So the challenge here is how we take these creative physical spaces and move them into the digital world. We need digital tools that are just as easy and unfussy and conducive to creative thinking. We created Dropbox Paper to do just that. It allows ideas to live and breathe and grow, and we purposely removed the distraction that comes with formatting and all of those things. It's really just a simple tool for ideation and collaboration. Me and my team, that's where we do our jamming, if you like, and you should check it out. And as we head for 2020, we are going to see more and more of digital creative spaces. A few weeks ago, Dropbox participated in the Cannes Lion International Festival of Creativity. And there I heard a quote from the marketing comms head at Pinterest. And I think it really sums up how we need to think about the 2020 workplace. Less focus on time spent, productivity, and more focus on time well spent, creativity. And when it comes to reimagining the human experience at work, I really believe it is that simple. We have huge problems to solve, and creative thinking is what will get us there. At Dropbox, we're really excited to be creating work environments that are creative and conducive to creative thinking. And we're also excited to be developing tools that encourage teamwork and collaboration and creative thinking. The creative workplace of 2020 will offer the opportunity not just to work and be busy and productive, but will offer the opportunity for people to do their best work, their most creative work, and bring their brightest ideas to life. Thank you.